What's up YouTube? Dougie Chong here. Welcome to today's episode where I'll be reviewing Lightspeed Stock. The company Lightspeed is another Canadian stock. It is also a tech company, so really it's the best of both worlds in terms of a stock that I want to review. They were founded in the year 2005 in Montreal, Canada. That is a really surprising spot for a tech company to originate from. A lot of top tech companies come from Vancouver, Toronto, or even Ottawa. An extra little fun fact is that the company Slack actually originated in Vancouver before they moved to Silicon Valley. Alright, so in this video, I'll be looking over the business model of the company Lightspeed, then I'll dive into the numbers a little bit, and thirdly, I will give whether it is a buy in my opinion or not. So the company Lightspeed started off as the sort of point of sale type of company. A company to compare it against would be the company Square, which I have also reviewed in the past. The company Square would make these Square terminals so it was easier for merchants to process payments. Taking a look at Lightspeed's website, their hardware solutions do not look all that different from Square's. Kind of looks like an iPad, and they also have the physical cash register. I guess the main difference that you can see right off the bat is that they use a black colorway, whereas Square used a more white colorway. They seem to have a lot of different solutions for a lot of different industries, and they seem to want to optimize the entire retail workflow instead of just focusing on transactions. For instance, they want to autonomize the process of restocking. At first, I didn't really understand the difference. Didn't all retailers just need a simple way to accept payments? But the more I looked into it, the more I started to understand how they took a generic product such as payments and turned it into something a little more niche. For example, they have a home decor POS type of solution which offers customizable orders, and something like that, some special order requests, might not be useful or even required for things such as running an electronics store. I haven't personally used any of these hardware terminals, but I can see why a business might opt to use Lightspeed over a competitor or a generic payment processor, even if it just has one or two of these niche features. I think that's a really clever move by Lightspeed to really cater to their clients' needs. I think one of their main focuses, they have a retail section and a restaurant section, and restaurants will have slightly different needs than retailers. The last time I was on the controlling side of a point of sale system was probably back in 2012. I worked at the Brick back then, and they had a really slow payment terminal. I really hope that they have updated their system since, and Lightspeed surely would help them. At the end of the day, Lightspeed is very similar to both Square and Shopify, so their biggest problem would be getting customers to switch over to use Lightspeed. Lightspeed does seem to be experiencing tremendous growth as of late, so I'm not sure if this will be a huge problem for them, but eventually they will have to be able to take some market share from the bigger players. The pandemic also looms large for brick and mortar stores, but they do have e-commerce solutions, things that Shopify has to set up templates for online stores. And of the three big competing companies, Square stock sits at a $95 billion valuation, Shopify at $135 billion, and then Lightspeed is under $8 billion. Of course, Lightspeed is not quite at the level of Shopify or Square yet, but they surely can grow to that size. Alright, now let's take a look at some of the numbers. Just this past day alone, the stock dropped about 6%. It sits here today at $67.53. The stock trades on both the New York Stock Exchange and the Toronto Stock Exchange, so make sure you are looking at the right one. But this pullback is to be expected since it was on an absolute tear since its lows of around $20 back in March. Looking at the 1-year chart, the stock has about doubled, and it only IPO'd last March, so it's done well since its IPO, but not like 4 or 5 times its price like a lot of other stocks have. The biggest factor I'm looking at when analyzing a growth company like this, as I alluded to earlier, is the market cap, which sits at about $8 billion. At such a low value right now, the sky is the limit for a company such as Lightspeed. Of course, there are no guarantees that it will grow as large as Shopify or Square, but since they have very similar products, there really is no reason why they cannot grow to that size. Now let's look at the balance sheet, which I'm expecting to be pretty terrible since this is a fairly new company still trying to get its clients. I know they are not turning a profit yet, but their assets are equal to their liabilities plus stockholders' equity at about $478 million. And about $340 million of their debt is in stockholder equity, so that's a very good sign to see. So is Lightspeed stock a buy in my opinion? Again, this is just my opinion. I am not a licensed financial advisor, and this is not legal financial advice. But at $67 here today, I'm gonna have to say it is a buy in my opinion, and that 6% drop is just what I needed to start a position. I will continue to buy more if it drops in the near term future or even stays flat for a continued period of time. Most companies that recently double I would certainly stay away from, but the track records of tech companies producing huge profits and just growing tremendous amounts is just too big to ignore. If it was a real estate company or an oil company, I would really question how such a high growth rate was possible, but in tech, the sky is truly the limit. That's it for this video, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you learned a lot about Lightspeed stock. As always, let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. Please remember to leave a like if this video helped you at all. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not already. Enjoy the rest of your day and see you in the next video.